And welcome to the latest episode of The Altar, where Ben is late, he'll be here, but Yimra's here on time, a timely twink. So, Yimra,
Yes.
what are we talking about tonight?
Something about the minimum wage and why it shouldn't exist, I believe is the subject matter.
Um, well, I said it should exist, but I also believe you need to buy a new microphone. So, like, how are you going to get that if you cannot have a minimum wage, a livable wage,
Mhm.
if you will? Um, like I don't actually want to get into it just yet because I know Ben's probably like kicking himself because he wanted to be a part of this tonight. I try to make accommodations for him because this is supposed to be Ben's day off, and he got called into work, so he's gonna be here soon. Maybe we could talk about it because I know Ben would love to talk about minimum wage and paying starvation wages to people, and it has nothing to do with the background or religion, you know?
I wouldn't know. I'm not sure what you're talking about exactly.
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're talking about at all. So like he said he was coming in hot. So yeah, basically the broad brush what I'll get into today is the minimum wage and what like well some of the what like started this for me was like a combination of things. Is I had a buddy of mine I was talking to. He's like more like Republican, but he's cool. He's cool to drink with. He's like understands like he like agrees a lot with stuff. He's just like it's like it's just not for me. I'm like okay, that's cool. You're not telling me I'm wrong, so that's cool. But he was in some chat with some lefty friends of his, and he had merely suggested that the minimum wage shouldn't be raised because they were talking about it, like all these like
Hmm.
left people blowing like, oh my god, like the minimum wage should be a living wage, blah 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 blah. And he's like, you shouldn't raise that at all. And I think it was like simply that he got muted in his Discord server, not his Discord server for like I'm trying to remember he told me like 15 minutes or something or 45
Oh,
minutes. Like, oh, what's the point? What's the point of
you're just
like
on a timeout, little boy.
little timeout? He's just gonna come back and
Little,
say the same
little
thing,
timeout.
which he should have. It was the but then I'm seeing this other stuff like these articles talking about how like the minimum wage is like workers pay is going up like organically, right? Like there's
Hmm.
plenty of jobs that are raising their wages above the $15 because they know it's
Especially
good.
with a lot of people not working as
Yeah.
of late. A lot of places just like fuck it, we'll pay you more. Fine, whatever.
so
We just
what's
need people here.
so what's hysterical is that the wages are going up because of the pandemic, right?
Hmm.
But it's meaningless because of the inflation caused by the pandemic. Because they were saying the inflation is outpacing the growth of the lower
That's
paid
been like a
jobs.
case for arguably like almost 20 or 30 years at this point, where the inflation as per like what the minimum wage was like back then to now is like kind of not really done very well for itself. I guess would be the best word for it. Even in like New York, like the cost of living versus a minimum wage is like a joke in 90% of the area outside of like upstate New York. But once you pass like White Plains, I suppose, maybe a little further up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, because normally obviously inflation has been bad, and then Ben is here. Ben has arrived.
What
So
second we said inflation? He got his
yeah,
Sonic inflation porn ready. He's
yeah,
fucking jackhammering his cock like a construction site worker.
yeah.
We got the whole thing
Ben
all ready for
enjoys his inflation porn.
him. He does. He gets one of those tire pumps, puts it right into his urethra, and causes serious damage to his vas deferens.
So Ben, I stretched out as much as I could in the beginning here. It was like, yeah,
We didn't talk about Twinks
I'm like,
actually.
we're talking about the minimum wage, the wage with minimum pay that's livable. And I just kept saying that for the like past 3 minutes. I hope that's cool, bro. He's still getting set up. He was really rushing in. I bet you he's still in his suit. He's clicking. He's clicking
Invading
away.
Poland with his fucking keyboard. Oh,
Oh,
broke
okay.
boy,
Headphones are
broke
dead.
boy.
You try charging them. Try,
Simply don't get cordless ones,
yeah,
dick.
like try charging them once in a while. So what we're going to look at is the because I hate the term minimum wage and living wage, right? Like the minimum wage should
Mhm.
be living wage. Why, right? And we like, everyone has this conversation. It doesn't make any sense. Like it should be, and I actually know I'm sure some people have said like it should just be called a living wage, and it should be a living wage, right? So like, okay, interesting. Where do you get that number? Like, where do you get that number
But yeah,
from?
the living wage is like usually based on like median or like lower end cost of living, like say house or apartment. If or then you got just for you're assuming it's one person who has an apartment, and then you only assume for the apartment food and like certain other necessities, but that doesn't include car payments, health insurance, auto insurance, gas, electric.
Oh,
It really
actually,
depends where you grab from what I've seen.
that's why
Oh.
we're gonna be diving in to the
Mhm.
MIT living wage calculator today.
That sounds actually like a somewhat reliable source. I'm not gonna lie.
It
I'm like no, like not
no,
even like trying to
this
be a dig.
is
Like that, it sounds like a legitimately reliable source.
the living wage calculator is my go-to because you know me, I love arguing a $0 minimum wage. That's what I like to
Hmm.
do because it makes people mad.
Okay, that's the best way to
Yeah,
talk about politics. Not even have a belief system, just whatever pisses somebody off.
yeah. No, well, I'm no. Was obviously the reason it should be like $0 is that because you're like if you have it set to a certain 725, right? You're pricing people out of the market that want to do it. Granted, like yeah, it's not a living wage, but if someone needs that wage
Mm-hmm.
desperately, but they don't have like the certain skills or whatever, like
You could
yeah,
argue that people will just do it or something like that. Like
yeah.
I've worked off the books, so figuratively I was being paid like seven something back, which was still a little bit less than minimum wage. But I got tips while doing like pizza delivery
Mm. I
as a
like
sake of the argument.
I like that right now. So Ben's headphones are dead. And he's trying to figure it out. He's like, 1 second. You know what? I like to flip the script here because it's normally me having issues and I'm so mad. So it's just so nice that it's not me. It's Ben's.
You just hear Ben huffing and like invading Poland with his keyboard
You
smashing.
see him, he's fucking going, oh
I
god.
just imagine him taking like his suit
Uh,
off or whatever
uh,
clothing he's wearing
uh,
slowly and like
I'm gonna take your time. Take your time, homie. Take your time. This is so good.
yeah,
I love this. This is like very exciting.
let him do his thing. He can
He's gonna
come at the
listen to
end.
this. He's gonna listen to this when like when it's released, right? He's like, you guys were laughing at me. Like I was sweating. I was is it a conniption? Is that what they say?
You can have a connection. Yeah, I mean I don't know
Yeah.
if you're using it right.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm using it. Whatever. I'm not whatever. Like what I just like here like just fucking bothered right now. So we're clearly gonna roast him for
Mm-hmm.
that. So because I didn't really want to dive into anything like anything until he got here, and he's like, yeah, I'm right on time. My headphones are dead. So I guess in that case we can flip the script a little bit and talk a little crazy in the beginning about
Mm-hmm.
well, let's do a stupid let's do a stupid minimum wage. Like I'm all thrown out of sorts. Let's do like a stupid minimum wage thing. But how much I hate ancoms, right? Not all ancoms, but some. Because I see some of these ancoms talk like this shit. So, Yimra, I want you to tell me the problem with this argument. Is that I'm gonna pretend I'm doing ancom.
Mm-hmm.
So, Yimra, I work at a burger joint, all right?
Okay.
And the burgers are sold for $5 a pop. And
Okay.
I can make 20 burgers an hour. What's 20 times 5? It's $100.
Oh, okay.
I get paid $10 an hour to make $100 worth of burgers an hour. I
And you're
am
saying you're not making $100 an hour though.
yeah, I'm making $10 an hour
Mm-hmm.
when the labor being extracted from me, the surplus value, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
is $90. Like I should be getting ninety
So then what that
dollars.
logic is though, you're not also including the payments of that burger also is getting the lights on,
Yeah,
other things like the resources for shipments and such and such. There's more money
Ben,
involved
are you with us
for a
now?
burger. I guess supposed to be the line.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you great.
Badly.
We heard you the
Okay.
whole time. It was great.
Oh, you heard all that shit?
Yeah, you're
That's
going
fantastic.
So good.
I was so like they just wouldn't fucking turn on, so I hooked them up to the charger for 5 seconds, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, we got 40%.
We talking about the
Thanks.
headphones or the women surrounding you in life. I'm just kidding. I'm drinking fast, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, so Yimra, continue that. The lights, like.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, it's the same thing for really any type of product. I mean, depending on the product, yeah, there could be a little bit more room to pay, say, a worker, but depending on the overhead situation and what kind of business it is, say the $5 burger, like, yeah, I can make, I even use the example of me selling a car. I can make several $1,000s worth of profit on the vehicle, and I have no flex. But does all that go to me? No, it has to go to the finance manager as well, because he's helping make the deal happen at the end of the day. So I go on to put the lights. It also go on to get us to be able to buy more cars from the company that we work for. It also has to go to the people who service the cars beforehand, who have to do the PDI and prep, who have to put the New York State inspections in. It has to go to the people who bring the cars to us. There's a lot of overhead costs to a lot of businesses, and certain ones definitely could pay their workers better, arguably, for what they do.
Oh, for sure. That's
even an argument for under a capitalist. That's you argue for what your wage should be.
Yes.
It's the same thing. I'm sure economists would agree that if you are working hard, you should be paid more, simply put. And if you are doing good for said business, you deserve more money. If someone is pushing out an absurd amount of burgers, like, hey, listen, I'm doing a good job here. Throw me an extra buck or two. I'm doing better than everybody else. Humble flex.
The biggest
but
flex.
Also, there are certain jobs where it's just unfortunately like you can only do so much, and the benefit of paying you more is kind of not there outside of you going to a different position within that field. Especially jobs where I wouldn't say an unskilled job, because I actually do believe every job takes some fucking effort to do. I mean, no fucking CEO probably knows how to sweep floors properly or clean the toilets. That's for damn sure. They're a bunch of fuck.
Oh, Ben, real quick, I want you to know.
Yeah, what's up?
I want you to know that we literally were trying to do filler while you were getting this figured out. So we didn't miss much. So
Yimra, you froze. So you literally were talking about CEOs. We're pretty sure they actually took your signal down, like it was targeted.
Yeah, I said they're
CEOs,
fundamentally
they're a bunch of fuck
shit.
Extremely targeted. Well, that's the thing. Is like I make the joke about my job, because I work alone essentially in the shop now. But I've been out here for time's fake. I've been out here for like 13, 14 years or something like that. I believe. I can't do math, but no, like I had people working with me, like one here, one there, but they all like flaked out and stuff. So eventually I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm just going to get more money for me, right? I'm going to negotiate. Cause dude, I negotiate. Well, I mean, granted, it's a family business, right? But my dad, when it comes to work, he does not like if I want to take off and stuff, he's like, you're gonna have to use vacation days for that. He won't give me anything. Like when the kids are sick, when the shit's shut down for COVID and I gotta watch the kids because I have nowhere else to go, they're like, yeah, you gotta take a vacation day for that. That's how like of a bastard my dad is. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
Matt, I would like to formally invite your father to become Jewish if he is not already, because he has all the right stuff.
He's white enough for it. So
excellent. So did you check his circumcision?
Oh yeah, he's circumcised.
All right, word. So yeah, I'll send some papers over. He'll be good to go.
So he'll be like, yeah, man, I got the Star of David in the mail from a Ben. Like,
oh, for the first 90 days, he has to wear that on the outside of all of his clothing, just to see if he's really bad.
Sure. Wait a minute. I don't know if that historically is going to fit too well.
It's not yellow; it's blue. Fuck.
Okay.
God.
Whatever.
Do you have like an oversized Star of David like jewelry thing on you? If not,
I mean, I have a mezuzah. I literally have a giant Star of David that has like a Bible prayer on it down in my kitchen.
I need you to start wearing the Star of David, like really nice gold one, like that's like really close to your neck, with your fucking hairy chest out when you're wearing your suits, or like
so.
I don't know.
That is going to be coming up next for me. I have a gold watch. I have 2 gold rings.
You would.
I'm going to get a gold bracelet. Then I'm going to get a gold chain.
So you are going to be perfect to fucking some point.
Perfect for what?
Perfect to get robbed. I mean, like not a gunpoint, just tase you right in the nuts.
I mean, yeah. If you don't get shot during the process, then I guess you would win whatever I'm carrying.
I am so thin, it'll go right through me. All my organs will just pass right through like jelly.
Ah, bro, I'll shoot some right through you. All right, so now we can go with all this money talk. It's a guarantee. So we go right into the minimum wage stuff. So it was like all this like oh, that was like one of the things you missed, Ben, is that we talked about how like that people were raising because of the pandemic, wages were going up because people were like, I don't want to fucking work like that. But I
have strong opinions about this, but continue.
Oh no, yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about it. So with the wages going up, they just got fucking wiped out because of inflation. That was like basically the only thing we said. And that's I think when you popped in and we tried to like stretch it out a little longer. But first of all, so the correct opinion to have about the minimum wage, as Yimra said at the beginning of the episode, is $0. That's the minimum wage, federally, right? In state. Government-wise, $0 minimum wage. That's how it should be. But man, how the workers need to be paid a good wage. Yeah, they fucking negotiate it. They negotiate it with contracts and shit.
No one's going to go to a job that's paying $3 an hour.
No one's going to go to a job paying $1 an hour anymore. Well, yeah. they did back in the day. Yeah, before the massive inflation.
In like 1903, when $1 was a week's pay or some shit. I'm sure you can get an inflation calculator on that.
I quick thing, I had some dumb bitch one time call work and she wanted a quote on some parts. And I was like, it's this much. She's like, well, that's way higher than we got quoted last time. I'm like, when's your quote from? She's like, oh, we have a price list from 25 years ago. I'm like, yeah, something happened between then and now, you dumb bitch. I didn't say the last part. So minimum wage, I like to, because it's always conflated with the living wage, right? It's like it should be like the minimum wage should be a living wage. You're like, okay, what is a minimum living wage? $15 an hour. Really? Is it? It's not. It's not.
No.
So it's like the problem with making a law with the government doing doing a minimum wage is that you're pricing people out of the workforce, right? Because if they need the money. And they're like, I will gladly, like, I can fucking, this $15 an hour job, like, I could easily do it for $7.50, right? They can't do it because it's against the law, right? Or they'll go, like, or you were brought up, like, going off the books, like, under the table, so to speak. And that's good. But then,
Yimra knows a lot about going under the table.
Yeah,
hey now.
Hey.
So... Which either way, like you're fucking people up because like smaller business, like if you love the government to pass laws on minimum wage, you love big business. That's flat out the objective truth is you love Walmart, you love Amazon, you love these CEOs, these big Fortune 500 companies making a shitload of money during the pandemic because you're fucking stupid. And you know what you're talking about, but. I like I've done this. I've had this conversation with people about the living wage. I'm like, okay, you're right. People should make a living wage. It shouldn't be mandated by the government or anything. It's something they should negotiate. And the living wage is incredibly subjective depending on where you live. That's easy. It should be agreeable and depending on your life situation. So
yeah, I mean, if you live in Kansas and don't have a fucking living wage, is way different than someone who lives in, say, New Jersey, who has a car and a family they have to support. That you have 3 kids and no wife or husband. You're single, you have 3 kids and you have a car that you need to drive to work. You're at the glass factory in Newark. I don't know.
I was gonna say, yeah, you work in sanitation,
you work in sanitation, you have more than a living wage. You have a union, and sanitation unions fucking mint. The one in New York right now is actually coming up soon. They haven't had like a recruitment for that union in like 21 years. That's how good that union is.
Interesting.
On a quick side note, yeah, they're gonna open up soon. That'll be interesting. That's a fucking good job.
Get it, girl. So the living wage calculator, I pulled up the stuff for where I used to live. Well, like the county I used to live in before and the county I live in now. So the county in Illinois, where I used to live, for example, this is the MIT living wage calculator. You can Google this, and I think it's fairly accurate because it just agrees with me, right? There's different, because there's different livable wages for everybody in the current situation. So what the MIT wage calculator does, minimum wage calculator, it figures like it has the poverty wage for the situation of if you're a single adult with 1, 2, or 3 children, if you're 2 adults, 1 working with 1, 2, 3 children, or 0 children. I'm sorry, I forgot that part. Or if there's 2 adults both working with no children, 1 child, 2 childs, 3 children's. I'm just speaking stupid as shit, but you get the drift. So where they give the price breakdown of what a living wage would be, and then the minimum wage of that state. So I used to live in Cook County, Illinois. Dox myself. So Chicago, right?
Chicago.
Glad I got there before I got shot.
Go Bears.
You know what I mean?
Da Bears.
Dude, I love talking shit about the Bears. You get in Chicago, motherfuckers get so mad.
There's nothing bad about talking shit about any sports team because someone's gonna flip their fucking lid. Unless it's the Mets.
You can talk shit about sports teams as long as it's about the other team, right? Like if you're on the home
minus the Mets, you can actually talk shit about the Mets.
Oh yeah.
So isn't that required?
Yeah, it's like you have to.
No, I mean I'm a Mets fan because I'm on suicide.
You know what, Yimra? What you should do with your mic is pull it tight, like constantly.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't have to bring it to your face, but like you pull it straight out, right? And then talk.
Talk and ball torture.
Not that close, but we're getting there. We're getting something.
5 by 5.
Yeah. So here's the breakdown. I'm just gonna do it. Let's just do. Well, for the sake of the argument, we're gonna do a 16-year-old kid.
Okay, Drake.
Yeah. So. Fuck. Damn it. All right, bye guys. Yo, R. Kelly just got fucking indicted on his shit. Like, get charged. Charged. Yeah. R. Kelly just got charged with sex trafficking.
Never forget when he cried, "I'm fighting for my life," and everybody was in agreement saying, "All right."
You will be.
Yeah, you will.
In prison, we get tag teamed by 2 burly motherfuckers.
2 burly motherfuckers.
I don't condone rape, but R. Kelly kind of has it coming, to say the least.
Yeah, R. Kelly definitely
as formal as possible.
This is the longest downfall of a man I've seen, because I'm like, I would assume that if I peed on if I'm 33 right now, if I were to pee on a 16-year-old, I'm pretty sure my life would be over in a mere months after.
Yeah, see, big money lawyers. They also have like a sex cult thing going on, like an actual, honest to God, like sex cult, and it's R. Kelly too. It's like,
dude,
why would you need that? Like, you're like one of those guys that like a lot of women were like, oh my God, he's so hot. This is now do anything for him. The fuck you need a sex cult for, dog?
Well, there's a couple. You could do a couple of things, but there's like, when you get that famous and that wealthy and like everything is available to you, you develop weird taboos because like that's where the thrill is. Like you get like you get like a 10 out of 10 blowjob every day for the rest of your life from a 25-year-old. The weakest of hearts. Like not everybody. Obviously, some people are just like, I don't need to piss on a 15-year-old. That dude just woke up one morning and was, you know what? I'm gonna get my fucking kicks that way. Or it's one of those like, hey, you need to do some compromising shit and put it on video so that we can blackmail you if you decide to step out of line things.
I like
the. Yeah, there's a discussion of like when you keep doing like extreme like sexual things, there's a certain point where you cross like a, I mean, depending who you ask, you probably cross like several lines beforehand, but
Mhm.
there's definitely a point where there's like a cutoff where it just becomes felonies, just straight fucking felonies.
Yeah, it's not even
And
like I mean, it's creepy, but it's like no jail.
you're
Like,
so
go.
past that point by the time you get into like
All right.
felony that like it's
Hypo-
like you need to like see help. You should
hypothetical
have saw help like a year or two back.
hypothetical situation. All right.
Okay, I don't like
Both
this.
both adults are of age.
Okay.
Both adults of age. And
Mhm.
the one the female is sleeping. All right. And then the
Which they
male,
do.
the women do be sleeping, but then the male be laying next to the female, and like I don't really want to wake her up, but I want to get my thing going, so he just slips it in and starts going. My state's a one-party consent state, right? I think it's from the audio calls, but I think it could apply under habeas corpus or something. I don't know.
I mean,
know.
some
do you-
form of information is being transferred through a tube.
Yeah, right.
Either way,
Like at least
So.
5 gigs, right? So
But I
Yimra,
mean-
I want Yimra's thoughts on this because he's like just doing his hands. He's like, oh my god.
It's one of those things where it's just like what a conversation we're about to have. Because
I just want Yimra
that's
on
just
the.
straight up like sexual assault. Some kind.
Yeah.
No,
I
no,
know.
no.
it is.
You
No,
could,
no.
You could, I'm sure, technically like get consent beforehand.
No,
I'm sure, like,
no.
You go to court,
What-
it's not going to be a good.
No, you did have consent beforehand. Like you actually have this person on video saying that you could do that.
I think the argument would be, did they say it before they went to sleep
Yeah.
of that specific time?
Yeah. No, they said
Like
anytime.
tonight, yes. Tonight, yes.
That's-
Tonight, yes.
yeah.
Tonight, no. Oh, okay. Tonight, yes.
I feel like there's just still so much of a gray area. Like, yes, they consented beforehand, but what if they wake up and it's like, nope, then you gotta stop. But then it's also like they can't really consent for like a good chunk of the time you're doing it.
Like
Between two people who are married.
Yeah.
It's not my place
no,
to say, I suppose. But
it's the joke because I like that it's like the on running joke with me and my wife
Oh,
because
God.
she's the one that she was the one that said she's like you can't rape your spouse.
Oh, she said that?
She's dude that joke I made
No
about
wonder you
spouse.
married her.
Yeah, I didn't find out that was her position until after I married her, which was impressive. Oh, by the way, my wife is libertarian. She's not an anarchist. She's like a bad
you
libertarian.
need to have someone who's kind of stable. You need to have one of
Is
them
she-
be stable.
Big L or little L?
She doesn't even know what the Libertarian Party is.
She's a big spoon.
All
Is
right,
what you're
very
asking, I get
based.
it.
Yeah,
Very based.
incredibly based. No, like I classify her as libertarian because I'm like, if you talk to her, she's libertarian. But if you're like, oh yeah, did you like you know what's going on with like the Mises Caucus and Dave Smith? She was like, what? So what are we talking about anyway? Minimum wage. So
Minimum wage.
so a 16-year-old, let's do a single mother for shits and giggles. Let's just do those two because that's like the classic, most depressing thing. No, let's do a single mother with 2 kids, right? So
2.5.
2.5. Well, two kids and an abortion. Okay, not in Texas anymore.
So, okay. Fuck.
I dropped that at my niece's third birthday party, and no one was a fan of it.
Yeah, I could see why
Abortion jokes at the niece's birthday party. No.
they did not land.
Like, okay,
Wrong crowd,
We're
huh?
gonna get into the minimum wage stuff, but before I get it, because they were like, "Oh, how many kids do you guys want to have?" This was like I was just dating my wife. I'm like, "Well, but 3 to 4." Like, "Oh, like 3.5." I was like, "Yeah, 3 kids and abortion." Fell flat in front of the Catholics. I'll tell you that.
Ugh.
Terrible. All right, so because it's sad, let's get serious for a second. So because it's sad, we're gonna do the single mother of 2 children living wage and the 16-year-old living wage. So in Cook County, Illinois, the living wage for one adult with no children would be $16.32. So $15 wouldn't quite do it. They'd have to make sure to cut some expenses. Like that. And then also yearly, before taxes, that's $33,953.
You couldn't even live off an infantryman's wage, basically.
Yeah.
Like at least an E1 or an E2. Can't remember what to get
So
really after. It's like
this is
1,000.
so yeah. Cook County is Chicago, Illinois, for anyone that might have forgotten that's listening. And now we go to the single mother of 2 children. The living wage for her in Chicago would be $40.12. That is $83,000 and $83,451 before taxes. That's the required annual income.
And when they say living wage, this is like the bare minimum to be comfortable or just to get by.
So here we go. Because they actually they do very well. Because I was looking at some of the costs breakdown, and it looks pretty accurate. So they have it broken down. So here is we were just talking about the single mother with 2.5 kids. Here's the breakdown. So yearly, the food cost would be $71.41 a year. So $7,141. Childcare is $17,398. Right. Medical, and some of the stuff is like it's just averaged, right? Because medical, like your kids might never have any medical issues, right? Depending on the age and stuff. So that is medical though. This is what they're averaging, just like this safe bet. $7,460 in medical. Housing, $14,976,000. So they have a price breakdown. I'm not going to read every price breakdown here. They got here's the one that's important. The annual taxes, $15,814.
Not if you have a good accountant.
Yeah, got to get some of Ben's family members over here. What's going on? What are we doing? Do you have an accountant in your family, Ben?
On my mom's side, they're all kind of like just accountants by nature, and on my dad's side, probably lawyers. Yes. One movie producer.
Okay.
No accountants, actually.
Interesting.
Well, if you can't find those, just find some Irish accountants. They're usually actually pretty good, at least in the New York area.
Okay, so let's do. All right, so that was for, and obviously, if you go back to the food, like the cost breakdown of a 16-year-old with, I read off, like, I just assumed the one adult could be a 16-year-old, because the age of consent is subjective, and a 16-year-old, depending on how they understand contracts, is anyone who's listened before. Do whatever. I should bump this up to 18 so I stop sounding like R. Kelly. Yeah, but just assume that. Yeah, well, no, we have. You know what? I'm sorry, everyone that's listening to the audio version or is listening live. We're going 18-year-old that does not live with his parents. That's the hypothetical because of the housing stuff. That's how this cost breakdown works. So a 16-year-old living at home, it's way less.
Cock.
The living wage is way less than $16.32. This is I'm assuming you're on your own. So yeah, so like the food obviously is way cheaper. The medical's $2,800. The housing for a single adult with no children is ridiculously close. I guess it's just a couple extra rooms because it's like 11,472 versus that 15,000 essentially. But transportation is way less because you only got one person. So wildly different between a single mom with 2 kids and an 18-year-old adult that could buy smokes who does not have kids. Let me go over to, and then just a quick refresher because I went off on a little fucking tangent. Is that the 18-year-old minimum wage is $16.32 in Cook County. out by me now, living wage. Sorry, the living wage by me now is $13.07. Same time. So the difference between Cook County and the county I live in now is $3 and about 25 cents. Did I do my math right real quick? What's also funny about the state of Illinois is that they actually do the current minimum wage of Illinois is $10. $10.
Broke as fuck.
And then my state is $7.25. So basically, what are we getting at? Oh, wow. Actually, I didn't catch that. Oh no, okay, it's about the same. All right, so for a woman with 2 children in my state, the living wage would be $33.83 versus the $40.12 of Crook County, Illinois. All right, so like we don't need to go to those numbers. Like anyone who's listening can just go have a fucking field day. They have every county for every fucking state on there. You can really get into it, but like the whopping difference. So now, whopping dick difference.
Nice.
Biggest dick difference. So when you want that flat rate minimum wage, you're pricing someone out of the workforce here. Now, does an employer want an employee that's got 2 kids that might have to take off randomly? Or are they going to want and we got to keep in mind, a 16-year-old's, because that's why I wanted to do the 16-year-old bit, is that a 16-year-old, his living wage is probably fucking $10 an hour because he's living at home. Yimra, what's your living wage?
My living wage? All right.
You're like
Google.
16. Like 16.
MIT living wage calc.
No, dumbass. Do you have to pay rent to your parents?
Thank God, no.
All right, so you don't have to pay rent. Like no, because I was just joking. Like you're 16, but you're not 16. But we're gonna pretend you're 16 with a.
I don't like this bit anymore.
I don't
I'm not very comfortable anymore.
No,
Matt's really trying to take.
I'm gonna let's see.
Fill the power vacuum at the top.
You call me a top?
Let's see.
Really?
Yes.
I'll bottom once in a while.
Housing.
Okay, so while Yimra's calculating that, one thing I wanted to mention real quick.
So you go off because you had plenty to say, right?
So the thing I love is all of the people who are talking and like bragging about the fact that because a bunch of workers were quitting, that because of this, businesses are now going to have to like raise wages, and like the entire thing is supposed to be like anti-capitalism in action. For years, everybody was saying that if you fucking hated your minimum wage job because you didn't think they paid you enough, you had to do one of 2 things. You either had to A, negotiate for a higher wage, or B, quit. Fucking quit and find a job that pays better. And guess what? You all fucking did that and it worked. That is how capitalism works. This is a function of capitalism. That was always allowed. You could have always done this.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'd be financially fucked if I try to have a house here or an apartment. So this is
because you live in New York.
Yeah, no, I literally could not afford. Pretty much any wage is like below like.
Add that to the list of questions. So going on. So yeah, so that's the thing. Like, Yimra would be. I mean, are you 22 now?
23.
23? Where's the time gone? I remember when you were this high.
Are you just pushing
when
my
you were
head?
just
yes, yeah, you know what I'm
when
doing.
you were just
when you were a Gimlet.
When you're just
That's
like
my favorite bits.
a little
Yim wordplay.
A little Yingling from Pennsylvania.
Okay, well that's a little racist.
So Yimlet used to come over and play with your leg hairs in the pool. Is that what you're saying, Matt?
Call
you
me
ever watch Gladiator movies? You ever seen a grown man naked before?
So basically, like, so the prime example Like, so what's the minimum wage in New York right now?
Depends where you are. I think the closer you are to the city, they like kind of progress over time. I believe it's like 15 something now.
Oh, so 15.
Let's just say it's 15.
So what I'm trying to say is like in your situation is because of like whatever. I mean, no, you got a job. Like, let's say you were like, I gotta fucking work at a fast food place. Like, no one else I really like. I've never worked with people before, which would be a lie. But let's pretend you fucking stayed home and jerked off to Xbox like constantly.
Okay. I can
like
do that.
unironically, I guess.
All right, I can't do that.
Okay. So if you had to get a job where it was like the bare minimum $15 an hour, it's gonna do you way better because you could just sock that money away or blow it if you wanted to. But like the living wage, you sock that money away as a mother.
Sock or blow,
either or, whatever he wants to do with it.
Oh man. Okay.
So then there is the single mother of 2 kids that needs way more money, but she's so desperate that she will settle for $15. Now here's the problem. Like that I was just trying to bring up is the employer going to want to hire this woman who might have to take off constantly because of her 2 kids, or the young kid who just like, yeah, just whatever, I don't care, I'll do whatever you want, Bigfoot burgers. And then on the flip side, if she's got experience and like if I have to pay $15, which is an exorbitant price to me, I'm going to want the experienced mom who's cooking for kids and not the stupid fucking kid.
Well, she'll work harder, but she may also have to dedicate more time to taking care of her kids rather than work.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Have.
That's why I was doing the 2 sides of the coin of like shitting on her and praising her simultaneously. Just for like, because I know there's gonna be like whatever I fucking say, I'm going to get some comment from somebody. It's like, Matt, you didn't consider the other side. I did. I just didn't say it because it should be obvious.
Consider every single fucking variant of the concept. The theoretical fucking physics.
But what if the single mom has only 1 leg and 3 fingers? And what if she escaped Africa when she was 5? And then even though she was born in like just yes,
you know what?
That's where you make a book and you sell it and you make fucking
exactly.
That's where you have epic gamer moment right there.
Do like
Scarlett Johansson plays her in a movie.
Do like a Tropic Thunder
Gosling
thing.
played Martin Luther King.
Do like a Tropic Thunder thing where she makes up like how she lost her shit.
But instead, she just has white face.
I don't know the sound.
How based?
I don't know what it's called. I just know the sound it makes when it lies.
So basically, what we're trying to get at is the minimum wage should be $0, and that if you set a flat rate for a minimum wage, someone's gonna get fucked, and it could be the person you want to get fucked, or it could not be. It depends. It's completely situational. Because in my opinion, if it's a grunt work job, these like fucking if I had to pick. No, actually, I don't really know. I don't really know how I do it right now. But I actually didn't put any thought into it. I would gladly pay $15 if that's the minimum wage in my work for a motherfucker to come in there and be there. If I can guarantee that, I would pay $15 an hour. Like if that was a minimum wage, because I'm not gonna have some fucking flaky ass kid. It's like, oh yeah, like I just need to get a job, like I'm trying to save up for a car or whatever, blah blah blah. Or just like, yeah, I just need a job because my parents told me to, right? Type shit. Like that, I would just be like, if I have to pick, I have to pick for that, or someone who is experienced. It like it's clear as day to me. Like I'm not going through this, especially the training process is the biggest fucking thing.
There's actually a very funny thing about that whole training process thing now with I was watching some economic stuff about it, where basically a lot of companies are aware that people will come in, say someone like me, say I'm in a new industry of some sort, and say I have no background in the field. It will gladly take someone like me on so I can work there for like a year or two before I move to the next business. And they're aware of this, and they're actually okay with it because one, I'm slightly cheaper than say someone who's been there for years, and they know that we're both in agreement. I'm going to work there for a little bit. I probably won't get a raise, or if I do, it's minimal to whatever veteran person who's going to be doing it. I then move to the next job, but now they know that, say, someone's going to come in just like me who's worked 1, 2, 3 different jobs for at least a year or two each and has a good diversity of different types of skill sets, and now I'm going to be paid more. And it's becoming kind of more common now is that kind of thing. Like how I am right now is I've worked in sales, I've worked in parts, I've worked in service with dealerships, I've worked security, investigation, I did acting. I have some of these aren't too useful certain jobs,
acting?
but we don't talk about what kind of acting.
Oh.
No,
I knew
I'm
I
kidding.
beat
I actually
off to
respect
you.
myself.
Just kidding.
What?
What?
Hey,
What?
yo, pause.
Yeah, hey,
But-
pause real quick.
Yo,
That a
guys,
big
real
thing.
quick. I have
Yeah.
to go to speakers, so like if I'm getting interference or if I'm sending anything back, just let me know.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
You're fine. Yeah, no, you're good.
Yeah, you're good right now.
I'm not getting anything.
All
Yeah,
right, cool.
same.
Because if we all talk like this, you're fine.
All right,
Yeah.
sweet.
So,
Cock. We're good.
Balls.
torture.
But that is a big thing now, is where somewhat inexperienced people will come into a certain field, work there for a few years, and kind of keep doing that. And then by the time they have enough background in several different fields or within different parts of the industry, they'll finally find a place where they're going to be more situated at and be there longer and have multiple skill sets. Now, I'm not saying everybody is doing that. I can't name any shitheads that I know in my age group that are doing that, although most of them were smart and either got a college education, something like engineering, or something like is practical and actually fucking matters, or they went blue collar. Like I have 2 friends who are plumbers in the union. I have one who's a non-union construction guy. One finished his degree in engineering. He's doing some of that. He's doing banking, and he took a degree in business. He's a banker, so he's still kind of a scumbag, but he's not like a real banker. Gets paid too much to do it.
It's like a
He
real
plays
banker.
MLB The Show almost half the time while he's working. It's kind of impressive.
He plays MLB The Show.
He plays MLB The Show. I've literally gone to his, and he works from home. Makes like $20+ an hour. It's more than it's like 20 something. And he plays
Incredible.
MLB The Show half the time. The other time he's actually banking, like doing his job. It's the funniest fucking thing. Like of all games, like you're playing like Skyrim or something, or like I don't know, COD, like a good COD, like Modern Warfare.
Like,
Well, let's not get too
COD?
wrapped up on it. It bothers me more than anything else at the show than the fact that he's getting paid like $25 or so, like 20, just mid-20s an hour, to basically do some banking nonsense and then fucking play MLB The Show. It bothers me no end. But like for the most part, most people, maybe my area is a little different because a lot of them do like blue collar jobs, but it's mostly because I live within 30 minutes of the city. I live within 30 minutes of the
not that
city,
close.
so that makes more sense. Cock.
Yeah, if you would just
Balls.
remember, if you could just remember when you're gonna go on like actually talk a lot, to just pull it straight out,
Yeah.
it'll work. Because you don't have to buy a new mic, yeah, bro. Just fucking utilize the one you have properly.
I have to get a new earbud for this as well. Is also a problem.
Buy a new mic, you bastard. The one I linked you. So everyone,
No.
like, well, let's
If
just.
everybody sends Yimra $5, he can get a new mic. So
The communism was going to work.
What was the? What do you? No, it's a voluntary exchange. We're doing charity. We're doing for Yimra, where everyone just sends $5. I was almost about to just fucking buy it for you, but I'm like, no, he needs to learn. He needs to learn a lesson.
You could write it as a tax write-off. It'd be donating to an LGBTQ cause.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I could do that.
Yeah, baby.
No, because I linked Yimra a mic and like stop being poor, and I didn't attach the Paris Hilton meme, but I should have. But that is a mic that is a desktop stand, but has a built-in shock absorber, so he could tap it and it'll diffuse. So instead of he doesn't need a boom arm or anything like that, because it'll diffuse most of it. I was like, this that'll be good for you. It's like $70. Get it. Stop being poor. But
No.
yeah, so minimum wage stuff finishing up, I guess.
Minimum wage for a hand job, like a really good hand job.
Oh, you know what's funny? Strippers get great rates. The most fucking hysterical thing is that a single mother with 2 kids trying like working at McDonald's is getting paid shittier than a single mother of 2 kids giving handies on the corner of 8th and Broadway. I don't even know if that's a real intersection. I'm just putting it out there.
I couldn't tell you. I try not to think about New York City very often.
Who said New York, dude? I'm talking about fucking God, Lincoln, Illinois.
Of course, I have a Broadway over there, stealing everything from us.
Yeah. Because Broadway's dark tonight.
Jesus Christ. Superstar.
Oh my god, dude. I'm so fucking tired.
I don't know this.
You don't know
Never
what?
seen that. Jesus Christ Superstar.
It's a musical about Judas.
I know what it is. I've just
Jesus.
never seen
He's
it.
like,
It's
I
a
know
freaking
what
good
it is.
musical, honestly. As far as musicals go, which isn't saying much. They actually have like guys with good vocal range, like really deep, like baritone dudes who are like, the whole time, and it's pretty sick.
Ben, how much money did you make tonight?
How much money did I make tonight?
Yeah.
Not enough. Never enough.
How many sales did you make? Because you had to work on your day off.
I made 2, but one was big.
Oh.
Was it like a big cock ring
It was a ring
for someone's.
and a diamond. No, for somebody's hand, which I'm sure will be wrapped around his cock at some point. But
All right.
That's right.
Okay.
but the store overall, we did like $21,000 in sales, which was
What's amazing night of sales for you guys?
It depends on the time of year, because we've had like on super slow days in the summer, we've had like $60,000 days that were like fucking fantastic. But in the holiday season, it's a little bit different, because like jewelry is the ultimate like emotional gift for most Americans. So you basically have people buy the fucking scrotum when they're in your fucking store, and it's like fucking December 23rd, and they're like, "Oh god, I need a gift for my wife. She got me like all this stuff. I haven't think of anything." And it's just like, on the one hand, I'm like, well, you're a douchebag, so I kind of don't want to help you, but you have disposable income, and your wife has actually said she wants this diamond necklace. It's $10,000.
Hell yeah.
Will that be cash or credit?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't want it? Okay, next.
Bye.
Yeah. So like on a good night, say in December, like we're probably clearing like $100K a night at minimum.
Okay. Well, basically, I wanted like the average out, like just the average.
That's
of that.
like. Mm-hmm.
So like a really good night, 100,000. So basically, the medium line between that and that would be like 60
Ish. Yeah.
60-ish would be like not too bad, not the best, but very good, very good.
Mm-hmm. Like
Yeah.
it's every month is different. Like last month, our goal was 175,000 for the month. This month, it's 272,000. In December, it will be like $1 million. So.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why Ben was late. He's reenacting Uncut Gems.
Also, listen. Somebody has to sell diamond rings to young Mormon couples so they can finally fuck and have white children. Okay, somebody's got to fucking do it.
Preserve the master race.
They all swing anyway. It's weird.
Wait, what? Let's end on this. Let's do that.
All
we got a
right,
couple
so
minutes.
it's just a thing in Utah that like LDS couples, like not so much younger couples, but like older couples. And by older, for LDS, I mean like they're like 10 years in, turning 29. Like that's an old LDS couple.
Jesus.
They like, I've been approached like several times by couples. Probably the youngest was like 34, 35.
I need to get there now. Ben, you have a place for me to sleep?
Dude, no, you can just sleep on the streets. If you time it right, like the lowest temperature some nights is like 50s, and that's
Oh, I
like,
can handle that. But can I
there you go.
sleep in your
Ben,
house on
you
like
live in a 2-bedroom, don't you?
Yeah, I do. Listen, the second bedroom is my office, and I refuse to give that up.
What
I will
room is
sleep on the
this?
couch or on the floor. That is perfectly fine with me.
Wait. I'm sorry. So you have, is this your bedroom we're watching?
No, this is my office.
Okay, because I was like, wait, because you're like, oh, the other room's my office. I'm like, wait, what room
No,
are you in
this
right
is-
now?
I meant like the other room from my bedroom.
Okay, so the other, okay, my bad. Because I was so confused. All right, so for the listeners, is every time I look at Ben, he looks like he's in an office, but it really seemed like to me he was saying that the other room was his office.
The office of love.
The office of love, the love office.
Just kidding. That office has been vacant for ever. So
Now on a depressing note, I'm just kidding.
yes.
Not depressing. Yeah. So Yimra, you can sleep on the office floor.
That's fine. Sometimes the floor is more comfortable. Than
Yeah, actually, you could.
It's actually, this is a bomb ass carpet. It was replaced like a year before I moved in.
Oh, he's got the good padding in there. Okay, say less,
yeah.
say less, boy.
I
Yeah,
got
right.
the HVAC, dude. Like,
you could just go in there and start your OnlyFans. You could pay rent or
OnlyFans.
yeah,
Now, I'm
whatever.
gonna be like a male escort for like sad, lonely old women,
Yeah, you can do that too.
and
I guess.
and they'll be like, "Oh, regale me about New York," and I'll be like, "It's awful. It
Yimra,
smells
listen,
like pennies and piss."
this is all you have to do. Like, all you got to do the first night you're there, just go to a bar in downtown Salt Lake and just look for like some blonde LDS woman who is clearly like on the prowl. Get with her, and you can just jump from LDS Cougar to LDS Cougar, and you'll never have to fucking worry about it.
Bro, check this. Watchman in the
Okay,
chat
okay.
was like, Ben could just up his sales with just a few Devil's 3 ways. It's a drinking game. Don't worry about it.
God, no, because here's the problem. Like, also the part of Utah I live in, like, I live in Utah County, and Utah County is like famous for people who will like trash like giant fucking like 10, 20, 30,000 deals over like anything, over like, because they wouldn't get like a $20 coupon like on it or some shit like that. Like, it is, I'm sorry, the most fucking, it is some Hebrew nonsense. That's all I'm gonna say, and they're not even Hebrew.
Sounds about right.
Like, this used to happen at the gun store all the time, and it happens now with a ring, and it's like, well, this other jewelry store has a moissanite stone and like shitty rose gold, and like they're $300 cheaper than you. I'm like, bro, you're about to drop like $4,000. You don't have that extra 300. Like, yes, that's a lovely gold ring. Is that 10 karat or 14?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I just bought it. I don't give a shit.
nice.
I'm not
I don't,
poor.
I don't even know what's going on with this one. I saw it at an army surplus store, and I was between this or the death head ring, and that was kind of
No,
creepy.
I
so
like-
was
I
You
get-
didn't get the death head ring? That's fucking what?
well, it was $300.
What was this, sir?
Oh,
It was
okay.
$325 or something. No, it's a little bit more now. It's almost $500. It was like, I was like, oh, this one's cool. And it was like death head thing. I
What
was
was
like,
this?
I
thing?
need
I
it.
don't fucking know.
Well, the ring was like, who wore it? It's like, oh, like SS units that were part of the Panzer Division. I was like, no, I'm good on that one. That's a little creepy. That's a little weird. I'm gonna pass on the Nazi ring, thanks.
Well, that's good
that-
because the ring you bought was smuggled home inside someone's ass from a POW
Okay.
camp.
All right, Christopher
I don't know if you
Walken.
can actually. I'm gonna try to like show you what this is.
Oh,
You can see it's like kind of like a Roman or Greco-Roman like
Alright.
soldiers with a helmet on and shit. It's like obsidian
Okay,
or something
cool.
like that, and it's gold.
Based.
I wanted to get it like appraised or get it looked at because it has like a little mark on the inside. It probably means like specifically either a company or a certain person who made it. It was at a military surplus store, so I don't know if it has any relevance to that. Like maybe it's some type of unit back in the day, or it's just some guy just sold it there because it's a ring and it looks kind of cool. Because, I mean, it's fucking neat. I love this thing. I need to get resized anyways for
Alright.
my hand because I can't keep wearing it on my thumb. It's just
So
it needs.
we're
needs to go
gonna
or something.
fade this out. We're gonna end it. But I'm gonna end it on that you couldn't have bought that working minimum wage. Just fucking tie it all together. So Ben, I'm glad that I adjusted my schedule and Yimra adjusted his schedule to get you on tonight.
I really appreciate that, guys.
we love you. and you love us. You
Love
better
you
love
too.
us. So,
Yeah, I love you.
so everyone in the chat, thank you for coming out. Have a good night.